Hello, my fellow atypical nomads. Today is my 11th day here at the Green Climbers home. It's a wonderful place if you are a climber or even a bouldering enthusiast or even a yoga hobbyist like myself. This is certainly a place for you. I'm just here stopping by to kind of talk through my experience so far. I have met a lot of very interesting people from different parts of the world, all very nice and very welcoming people working in the camps, and also the people who just kind of passing by or traveling or for whatever reasons. I've really enjoyed myself here, especially with my experience with the climbers. I'm very grateful at each and one of them. If you guys are watching this, you know who you are.
Oh, you want the blue one?
If I can.
My condolences.
That one's lost.
Yeah, if I can have the blue one, I would love to have the blue one.
Climb a lot back home in the UK, but that was mainly bouldering. I haven't really gotten so much into sports climbing. All of that changed as soon as I got here. The atmosphere is just completely different. You're just walking around looking at crags, people who are just like, working really hard on these very beautiful crags. It's so impossible not to get really engaged into it. So after about 2 or 3 days, I was instantly like so immersed. I really wanted to try out some of these climbs and just really like talking to people. There's a lot of very experienced climbers here. The oldest one that I've met here so far is 72 and is still very strong. As I was talking in my earlier vlogs, I was supposed to meet Vivian and Mike here, which I did. They were also with Alvin, who is from Australia, all very good climbers. Very cool guys too, like to hang out with. And on top of that, there are also a lot of climbers here, either in Camp 1 or Camp 2 that I've met, who are just so nice and who are so happy to walk you through and talk you through about climbing.
You can hold this, but like that's just like steady stuff. And then you want to have a base. Like the wider your feet, the more stable you are. And then you want to pull this up. And then trying to come up. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
once again.
Even though I'm sort of beginner, started climbing here like 5A, 5B. It's kind of probably the lowest grade that you can climb here. And it goes up to like 8C, I believe. Someone climbed it yesterday. 8C is very, very tough. The last 2 days I was doing 5C. I just like sort of doing it gradually. Started, for example, on my first, second, or third day, I was just doing tap ropes. And then on my 4th, 5th, and 6th day, I've started doing some seconding, which is essentially tap rope too, but all you're doing is you climb and then you unclip from the quick draws, which was set by the lead climber. So I was doing that also for about 3 or 4 days. I'm still doing it right now, depending on what the level is. In the last 3, 4 days, I've started doing some leading, which is a little more advanced and a little bit more scarier, personally. So with lead, essentially what you're doing is you climb, no quick draws already attached to the bolts, or just as you go, you're clipping your ropes into the quick draws. So 11 days is not a whole lot of time, but I have to say that I'm actually quite happy and felt I've achieved quite a lot. I think it's way more than what I've expected at the beginning. I didn't even have a clue like how far am I gonna get on. All I know is I was just about to enjoy it. Yeah, I didn't really climb a lot each day because I'm still a little bit cautious as a beginner. For me, I just kind of like wanna make sure I'm easing through it, especially after climbing 23 days from 5. So I kind of wanna rest my body, especially my knee, for a bit. What else can I say about this spot? The food are amazing. They always have vegetarian options on their menu, which I really, really enjoyed. For example, you have a Penang curry. You have an option whether you want chicken or tofu. And it's pretty cool because the way the dining hall was set up, there's a lot of like little lounges, tables where you can sit, a lot of cushions that you can sit on. And there are games as well dotted around, like board games, card games. So underneath the dining hall, there are also some spots where you can train a little bit, like with your fingers. There's some ropes where you could just like practice your pulling, whatever you can do. You can even do like some normal exercise. And the whole site is actually quite big, and it's so impressive. It's just one site out of the whole karst mountains in Laos. Pretty sure there's a lot of good climbs if they could only be developed. Just looking behind me right there, it's like full of mountains already over the main road. Green Climbers Home is very big. You could easily spend a day just walking around this whole thing, taking notes, which climbs you want to climb. It's so amazing when you walk from one crag to the other. There's all these little pathways that go through the forest and some bridges over the river. It's kind of nice. I mean, even though you're not climbing per se, you still enjoy it. I was climbing with Paul, Joanne, and Howard yesterday, and it's pretty cool. Kind of supposed to be the rest day. We walk around just seeing those crags, and they're talking about what's good, what not, kind of scale climbs there are. It also gives me a chance to sort of observe and know when you're selecting what climbs you want to do. Just try to assess where there may be tricky to climb, either because it's out of your comfort zone or out of your capability, whatever. Or maybe it's just because, you know, it's full overhang, and then maybe there are some falls that will just lead you through I don't know, like a tufa, like this little face of stones that goes up and then sticking out of the wall. Which, if your rope isn't properly aligned, you may hit a rock. That's all I'm saying. Like I say, I think people really makes a place, you know. I just can't be thankful enough or grateful enough for everyone that helped me through this process. They're just happy to sort of walk me through the basics, like showing me how to tie a knot, what's a good knot, what's not. You know, all these safety measures that you really have to think about.
Okay, I put my...
Safety?
Yeah, okay. And I did take that. Okay.
Okay, I'm good too.
Alright,
Okay.
You could be up there, like, you know, it's a life and death situation. It's no joke. I mean, sports climbing it's very fun and interesting and very exciting.
Come on, Michael. Great.
But at the same time, you know, what's making it exciting is there's always risk that you want to eliminate as much as possible. But overall, as soon as you learn the techniques, the way you tie a knot, the way you clean an anchor, I think sports climbing is relatively safe. Yes, it's far more riskier than, say, playing a volleyball or table tennis, but considering the technology, how the ropes were made, and how the quick draws are made, the grigories which you use to belay, the bolts even, you know, just knowing how much weight that those things could carry, just having that knowledge, it's actually safe. Mike from the States talked me through about the ropes. There's a standard that is set by the UAII, if I said that correctly, apologies if I didn't, that all ropes around the world should be able to withstand 18 kilonewtons of weight. It's like the force of the drop, you know. And no human body can even go close to that. I'm not gonna do all the scientific base, but I think it's around 18 times or 20 times the human impact where it could potentially break a rope. But it's not even that. I mean, with the rope, because the way it was designed, even with a tiny strand of a rope in a particular diameter of it, right? If it gets scratched and then there's only one string left, it could still withstand a human being. Green Climbers Home is in a very great location, literally bang on the middle of Laos. Laos is very long. It's not particularly a very big country, but it is very long because from the northern side, which is bordering China in the province of Yunnan, all the way down in the 4000 Islands, which is right next to Cambodia. Very nice place. And again, I keep saying this, Laos is actually coming very close to my heart because it has a lot of similarities with the Philippines. I remember growing up, it's quite raw in some areas. You could still see a lot of poverty. You know, people are very nice, very genuinely kind, they're approachable. I think from here on, I still don't know where I'm gonna go next because literally about 150 kilometers west of Vietnam. You can easily cycle that 2 or 3 days to Mahasai, or I could go further down into Cambodia first before I embark Vietnam. I'm gonna check online again if I could get an advanced visa for Vietnam, cut across, go south, and then Cambodia, and then from Cambodia I'll then have the option to carry on back to Thailand and into Krabi on the a little bit south, or trail back through the Mekong River side of Laos and then perhaps do another stop here at the Green Climbers Home, cut it across, and then go up into Hanoi. There's a lot of options there. I'm not really worried too much about it. I just like sort of go with the flow and then hear some recommendations too. So yeah, it's a beautiful area. As you can see, very quiet, no one's around here. A lot of sports climbing here, and on that side, on this side here, there are also a lot more. So I'm doing a 360 tour of this thing. If I go here to the south facing side of the camp, there are also more.
Oh, yeah, rest first
Rest,
and up through
Howard.
the hole.
Relax. Let me just try to get my breathing slower. Take your time, man.
Oh yeah, nicely done.
Nice,
Yeah, good, Howard.
beautiful.
Come on, Howard. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Voilà, là-dedans, là. Allez, les pieds bien haut.
Got it, Howard. Come on.
Allez, Mano, fourre-toi là-dedans. Vas-y, mon cœur.
Nice,
Nice.
Manly.
Allez, Mano, allez, 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 allez.
Use your back. Come on.
Super. Allez,
Nice, Howard. Come on.
respire. Oublie pas de respirer, c'est important.
Yeah, you should do some of that too.
Magnifique.
Come on,
Super.
Howard.
Allez.
Come on, Manoli. Come on. Come on, bit more. Nice, Manoli.
Oh my god.
That was
Well done, Manoli.
Give me a fist bump. It's truly unique because I was talking to a lot of climbers here, and apparently there's not a lot of climbing spot where the accommodations are literally right next to it. There are only very few. Someone said that there is one in Thailand, just north of Bangkok. Apparently there's one also in Mexico. There could be another one or two out there somewhere in the world, but yeah, but there's not a lot because most climbing spots you really have to like go into the deep into the forest, or a climbing spot sometimes you have to drive in like an hour, or hike, climb, or scramble for like I don't know. But yeah, there's not a lot of places like this. It's very unique. So that's why a lot of people that I met here have actually gone back again and again. Howard, for example, this was his 5th time. This feels home. To me, it feels home. You're right next to nature, and you're surrounded with people with the same interest. And I think I'm turning more into a sports climber now than boulderer, because back in London I was just boulder, or everywhere I go I just find a bouldering gym and I'm happy with it. You know, I don't even like bother about sports climbing for obvious reason, because sports climbing there's a lot of gears that you have to like lug around. But now I think I can make that day of effort. I think it's really worth it. It's more dynamic for me, I find, in the last few days. More interesting. I mean, no offense to boulder, I'm still gonna boulder. I still love bouldering. You know, it's still nice. Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes you could just rack up in your home gym and then, you know, you just hang out with your friends or people that you meet in the gym. It's always nice, but to me, sports climbing is just a whole other level. It's just insane. Like some of these rocks, you can't find these rocks in the gym. This type of climbs are non-existent in the gym. Gyms are nice, it's comfortable. You fall, yeah, there are certain risks, but you're in a very safe environment. These are also safe. Again, it's just a different type of mental state that you have to like bring into the game. Just looking at one there, that's where the roof is. It's just like full overhang all the way. Like, there are different types of rocks too that you'll find yourself. Some of them are very juggy. You can literally haul it. There's some easy climbs, you know, you can like step in. And some of the holes just a lot of turn. Like, I'm losing the word, but probably this would explain it. It's part of the game, I think. Anyway, I will probably do another vlog before I leave here, just to make another summary or share more of my experience. And yeah, right, ciao.